Hi guys, and welcome back for another episode of Transport Fever. So, last episode I said that I would change all these signals to one way, which I have done. And we have a nice little starting network. We've got this delivering, the food into the city once it gets there, and we've got this actually delivering sort of the cows or livestock and then bringing the food back. And if we look, this station has started actually filling up with food. And no, none of the trains have got any food yet, but this one will certainly pick this up, and then our train line will start making money, because at the moment they're both running at a loss. But it's to be expected. When you first build the lines, it takes a little while for it to actually get going. Once it gets going though, it can make money. But we're going to run into the second problem. If we click on the name of the city, you can see that you can supply a lot of different things to the city. So you can supply construction materials, machines, fuel, goods, food, and tools. Now the problem is they have a maximum amount they'll take. So if we supply all the food from this sort of factory, eventually this city will become oversaturated, which will basically mean there's too much food in the city, which means this stops producing it, which means this will stop producing livestock, and our trains will just be running backwards and forwards with nothing on board, wasting a ton of money. So there's two ways to sort this. The first is to link this to another town, so that you're splitting the amount of food you're producing between two cities. The second way is to make your cities grow. And that's what we're going to do. And to make your cities grow, there is only one way to do it. Connect it to other cities. The more cities it's connected to, the quicker it will grow, because the more people can get from one city to another. So, where are we going to connect to? There's a few choices. We've got Thrope St Andrews, we've got Grantham, we've got Bishop Stafford, and we've got Stow on the World that are close by. Now, if we have a look in here at the contour lines, the more lines there are closer together, the taller the peak is, or the bigger the hill. So, here, mountain. And you can tell because of so many lines all at once. So we're looking for a town or city that doesn't have any lines between it really. So, we could go from here to here through this area, not crossing any contour lines. So we're constantly staying at the same level with our track, which will sort of mean we're not wasting money. This one's not that bad. We do go through a few lines though, and this one goes through a single line. This one seems like the best. But I don't want to leave out this city here, and if I put in a station sort of here directing that way, it's going to be hard then connecting it to here and here. So I think what I'm going to do is bulldoze this road just here, add in my own medium street road, and put a station right there. I'm going to have a two-way station. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make it the maximum length. It does cost a little more, but it secures me in the future, so I don't have to worry about my trains getting longer. Because eventually, 320 meters might sound long, but when you get into sort of further into the game, that's really not that big. You'll be sitting there going, oh, I wish the stations could be longer. So yeah, and we're going to put that just there. So now we've got one line sort of open that we can direct down to Bishop Stafford, and we've got one line that can go this way, and I might even expand it and then it can go up as well. So we can close that down. Now I don't have a great deal of money, so I'm just going to put in a single line for the moment, and we're going to head this direction. Yeah, that should be fine. Ooh, that gets big. Now another tip is build in smaller sections. If I just took this train track all the way over here, it's going to cost almost $1 million. And that's because it's doing so much terrain deformation. But if I did it in smaller sections, it won't cost nearly as much. I probably won't even have to take a loan to get it all the way to that city. At least I hope so, otherwise it just looks like I'm stupid. So, where are we aiming for this city? I think around about there will be a good spot. No, I don't want you to connect to the road, but thank you very much. So if I bring that track around there, and then this one crosses over. And then we need the station. So you see, I got all the way here without taking a loan, and that cost me what? A couple of $100 grand? It would have cost me a lot more if I'd just sort of done the direct line that it wanted to originally. So once again, we're going to use 2 platforms, and yeah, about there is fine. And just check, I'm on the left one. Yeah, on the left one. Awesome. Okay. So eventually this is going to be my main connecting route to other cities. But for the moment it's just going to have the one train on it. Now it is always cheaper building the second line sort of thing following the first one, so you don't have to do it in such small chunks. So if I went just to there, it's 68. If I follow this, it's 59. Oh, damn you. Really? Get it all that way and then it just skips it. Come on, over this way. No. There we go. Follow the track. Right, are you following it? You are. Thank you. Boom. There we go. Now, the longer you make a set of points, the higher the top speed your trains can go over those points. So it's always a good idea sort of making them as long as you can. I am going to unpause the game and speed it up because I want this track to start making money because I've spent most of our money. Now I can take loans out and stuff to set up the trains, but I'm going to be doing some signalling anyway, so I may as well try and get some money earned on my food run while I'm doing this. Okay. Now I always put the signals on the outside edges. For me it's just easier, and I've run out of money. I got a minus just as I tried to place it. We're going to turn that off because I really don't want to see all the negative money rising from my vans and stuff. No money made. But you should have some. Yeah, you've got 8 food on you. Let's have a look at this pulling into the station. While we're waiting on a bit of cash, we may as well go and have a look at the trains. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so that got us, 45 grand. And that was with 8. Oh, that's got nothing on board. Never good. You're gonna... Oh, you've only got 8 as well. Oh, come on, click the train. There we go. So you've only got 4 food. How many's at the station? 6. So why didn't you load on... Ah, really? How many carts do we have? 2. Okay. So we've got a couple of the horse and carts going. Let's take a look. Yeah, both lines are still making a loss. What I'm going to do is keep that running actually. I'm going to take another loan. So that should be enough to get all the signals in. Now you may think, taking a loan, bad idea. But, once you get things profitable, it's not too bad having the loans, And I would much rather borrow the money and be able to do something for these videos than to just sit there for 10-20 minutes going, oh yeah, eventually we'll make money and I'll be able to show you stuff. So yeah, it may cost us a little extra in the long run with paying for the loan, but that's what happens when you want to rush a little. Now I am putting in a lot of signals, but that's because this line is eventually going to be connected to a lot of other cities, and there's going to be a lot of trains running on it. And the more signals you've got in, the more trains you can have running without any problems. So yeah, just one of them things. Okay, so once again I will change all of these signals sort of between episodes so that you guys aren't sitting there through it. We are going to need a train depot. Now for the moment I can just plug that straight at the end of this train line without too many problems. Okay, so we need a new line going from here to here. And yeah, that was the right yellow. Just like the other lines that I've got, I've sort of colour coded most of my stuff, so passenger lines for me are almost always yellow. And I'm just going to call this main line 1 for the moment. So TP for train passenger. I probably will change the name eventually, but yeah, for the moment, just so I know what it is. There we go. So now we need the actual trains. I'm going to start with 2 trains on this line, and they're obviously going to be carrying passenger cars. Right, we are going to need some more cash. So we're going to need 1, I think 4. There we go. And set you to line 1. So let's go to slow speed. Watch these coming out of their depot. Gotta love the trains coming out. And it's the first time we've seen the carriages. Okay, we'll speed up again. Now the next thing, actually no, I will slow down it again. The next thing is getting passengers to the station, because just like this station, it has a catchment area. So at the moment we're only covering these buildings here, and if we look at this, some of them are residential, which is good, but not all of them. Now this station here is covering, or this bus station rather, is covering most of the city, except a small portion down here. So I think if we add another bus station here, we're now covering the whole city. It may be far for people to walk, but we are covering the city. And the more stations you add in, sort of the less people will be waiting at each individual station, but you will have the same number throughout your city. So, with a single bus stop, you'll have, 10 people waiting, and only 10 people in your city want to travel. But if you've got 5 bus stations, you'll have 2 at each. But eventually you'll want a lot of bus stops because, they get crowded and they can only hold a certain number of people before they start sort of voiding those people out of existence. So yeah. We also want a bus stop up here, and I'm going to go with sort of a bus depot rather than, or not a depot, but a bigger station, so not just a stop. And we're going to put that right next to the train station. So we've already got the depot, so we're going to have some stagecoaches, and I think 2 should be enough for now. So, new line. So there we go. So this line not only will be used by passengers wanting to get into the inner city from the residential and vice versa, it'll also bring passengers to the train station. Okay, so this is going to be RP Haslingden. There we go. And you are going to be red. So yeah, just a bus route has to be red. Just has to be. So we will move over here and we'll do the same thing. Now this is not the best of cities, so what we're going to do is change it a little bit. No, go the way I want you to. Now the roads and stuff will naturally curve whichever way they want sometimes, so it is difficult building roads and stuff. But if you play around with it long enough, you'll get the hang of it and you'll eventually get it going where you want. Now, yeah, that does look like an odd shape, but doesn't matter. All the empty spaces will be filled in eventually with houses or secondary streets, and the city will grow from there. So we're once again going to need a bus stop outside the train station. We are going to need a depot because we've not got one of those yet in this city. And I've run out of money once again, so borrow some more. And now I'm going to need the bus stops throughout the actual city itself. So we'll have some there. Some down here, some here, and then one here. Now the reason I've got so many bus stops is because I want to connect every one of these areas so the person over here can get all the way over here if they wanted to on one of our buses. So the route is going to go from here downwards, swing around to there, swing back up into this big figure of 8. So there we go, we've got a nice hourglass bus route. Once again, you're going to be red, and road passenger Stow on the Wold. There we go. Now, if I eventually change the names of the cities, I will change the names of the bus routes and stuff as well, and like the train stations and everything else to match. So we won't have, you know, this is something else, and then this still saying Stow on the Wold, because that will just be confusing as all hell. Right, once again, full speed, and let's see if we start making a profit. Oh no, I need to actually buy some buses. You're all sitting there going, you've forgotten the buses, you go back, you've forgotten it. There we go. Right. So they're all heading off to different stops, and eventually, I'm hoping, they'll make their way to the train station. Normally it takes about a month for the people and sort of the industries to sort of go, oh, he's connected something. So yeah, What about you? How much food have you got on you? Oh, a full 12 food. Let's see how much you make then. 70,000. Excellent. And you know what I've just realised? In my audio. Oh, I can't change it from here. I think I turned all the music off. I was playing this a couple of days ago and listening to something else at the same time. So I ended up changing all the audio settings and I've forgotten to change them back for this video. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. I will change it back for the next episode. It just occurred to me why it's so quiet. Playing this, I'm sitting there going, hey, I'm sure it should be livelier than this. What's going on? Complete idiot. I do apologise for that, guys. But, you know, if you're watching my channel, you probably worked out at this point I am kind of an idiot sometimes. So, yeah. I know full well you watch my channel to take the mick out of me when I'm an idiot and point it out. Oh. Okay, well, you've got some food waiting, and I think you took a full load. You did, yep. So, let's have a look at my routes. So, my food line is actually making a profit of 200 grand. Wahey. Even the transfer of the food from there into the city is making money. And, you know, I think I need a couple more road vehicles on that route. Because otherwise what will happen is this depot will fill up. And my road vehicles won't be able to take it all into town quick enough. And if this fills up completely, this will go, oh, they don't need any more food, and stop. Which then will stop this one. And then once again my line is in a deficit, which isn't a good thing. So, you know, make sure if your food is building up at this end, add a couple more vans and stuff, you know, get it into the city a bit quicker. So as you can see, our saturation level is at 36 out of 96. Has that gone up? 96? Was it 86 when we started? I can't remember now. Never mind. If it has gone up, it's gone up. If it's not, then yeah, I'm just being silly. Oh, we're up to 300 grand now. Awesome. So yeah, eventually that'll keep that will go up. You know, I've seen food lines worth millions or tens of millions. So, you know, we will definitely make a profit there. And we've got passengers at the station. Awesome. Do we have any at this station? Yes, we do. And in fact, our train is full of people. Oh, I want that so that you guys can see how fast the train's actually going. Close those ones. But yeah, look, we are completely full of people. So I wonder how much this will earn us when it gets to the station. Hopefully a fair amount. God, I do love those trains. They look so awesome. It's not like the iconic steam train, but it is still a really nice train. I must admit, if you want to see like the real iconic steam trains and stuff, the American maps are amazing for that. The steam trains on there are just like, if you've had a picture of a steam train in your head as a kid, that's what they look like. So yeah, that's just awesome. I may play the American map eventually. It depends how this series goes and how much you guys enjoy it. 90,000. Awesome for a full train. And you're going to fill up on your way back as well. Almost full. So, you know, if that thing's making us almost 100 grand a trip, that's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, that was like 100k loss when I was last looking at this, and now it's like 12k loss. So again, it takes a little while for it to build up, but eventually it does build up and it just goes insane. For your bus services, you really want the frequency to be sort of around about a minute or so once it starts actually getting passengers. If your frequency is too high, people don't want to travel on your train or bus or whatever because it takes too long. They'll be standing there too long. So, you know, if you get your frequency right, it just means more passengers will come to it because they know there'll be a bus along in 30 seconds or something. So, yeah, getting your frequencies correct is kind of a challenge at first, but, you know, eventually you'll get the hang of it. I mean, if I added another bus now, it wouldn't cut it in half or anything like that. It's one of them things that, you know, in fact, I'll show you. If we add another stagecoach to... There we go. See, that dropped it to 101 seconds. Which basically did cut it in half. Oh, there we go. But yeah, it depends on the number of stops you've got and things like that. So the more stops you've got, the less impact a single bus will have, or in this case a stagecoach. So we can add one more to this line. And yeah, I mean, that dropped it. Oh, that's dropped even further now. That's only 100 seconds. But yeah, so it'll get added to the amount going round, and eventually it'll strike its own balance. But yeah, to be honest, the more buses and stuff you've got going, the more money you'll earn. So yeah. But I'm going to leave it off there, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you're enjoying the series. Let me know if you want, you know, certain things done. If you want me to connect to a certain city or something like that, you know, and I'll do my best to do so. And yeah, see you later.